right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So like before going to the WCAG, the main aim of this WCAG is to achieve these accessibility guidelines, which we need to follow for the websites. So for example, what is the accessibility? So for example, web accessibility means like every website should be accessible to each and every person. So like the people with disabilities can also use this websites. So the main aim of this accessibility testing is to make sure it should be able to accessible to each and every person. So this is the main motto. So in terms like we can say that websites means that websites tools and technologies designed developed so that the people with disabilities can use them. And like more specifically specifically what we can say is they can use them and they can contribute to the websites also. So that is the main aim. And this WCAG, it is defined by this Worldwide Web Consortium and Web Accessibility Initiatives. So they will be publishing a set of guidelines for each and every principles what we have for accessibilities. So like a WCAG is basically a set of guidelines which the Worldwide Web Consortium has been published to make that people with disabilities can also access this site. So like if we had an accessible website, like who will be beneficiary, like so like all these people, like people without any disabilities can access the website easily, and the peoples with visual, auditory, and physical, speech, cognitive, neurological, all these type of disabilities people can also access this. So basically, here every website should follow some standards. So what are those standards of this web accessibility? So at present, the US government is following three standards. Among these three standards, like ADA compliance, like Americans with Disabilities Act, is one of the highest uh, accessibility rule what they are following. Even like this rule can also be achieved by using the WCAG guidelines level AAA and section 508 compliance. This is also used by the US federal governments to follow these uh, WCAG, to follow these accessibility checks and all these things. So, like in the latest, in 2017 January, they officially adopted WCAG level AA compliances. Like if a website clears WCAG levels, so there will be ADA compliance and 508 compliance. Like what if the website does not have the compliance means there will be some charges and they will be suing the websites. All these things will be happen when in the case of ADA compliance and 508 compliances. So like what is WCAG levels? Like level A, like it is a minimal level so that only some users, only some disability users can access them. And level AA, like most of the users can access these types of websites. Like uh, almost like every website is AA compliance only at present. And coming to the level AAA, it is a high range so that each and every user can access these types of websites. So this is about the accessibility. So how to achieve these WCAG guidelines means like levels means like we need to follow some principles. Like every website should follow some principles of accessibility. So what are those four principles of accessibilities? Like we'll be calling as four, like perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Like in the first principle of perceivable, like we need to have information and user components must be presentable to users in which they can perceive easily. For example, like that if a information is presented and a user was unable to understand that thing means like he cannot understood that one, and it may be cause the perceivable thing. And coming to the operable, like even like with the help of this operable, like even they can operate the data in the website. For example, like I'm having only, for example, let us assume I'm having only one hand and I want to operate the website only through keyboard and not with the mouse. In such case, this operable principle will be useful for them if this compiles this operable thing. And understandable means like for example, if a website contains some videos and all these things, and if the voice is not clear, then enabling the closed captions like cc's, what we'll be seeing subtitles, enabling all these things will be helpful to the people actually. So this is the understandable principle. And coming to robust means like for example, if we are using some speech to text outputs, like, and we have some image text, so that image text cannot be readable, so for that case we will be using alt tags and all these things, so that even it should be accessible to the voice assistants as well. So till now, any queries until this principles?
Manoj, could you please repeat the first principle?
Like perceivable, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like in this perceivable principle, like the web user interface, whatever we are having, it should be like the data should be very clear and it should be easy to understand. Like in a simpler way, like we can having, instead of having paragraphs of text, we can make it to some lines of text. Like if we see the text, or I mean, if we see that line, it should be understandable.
You mean the wording?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So any doubts? Anyone? No. Okay. So now to achieve all these things, like WCAG defines some principles. So like each set of principle is having a set of guidelines to achieve them. So what are those guidelines means? Like for example, I have listed all the guidelines over here. There will be meaning. So for example, perceivable. So like this is the most case, like if you observe here, this perceivable in this alt text alternatives, this is having level A compliance. Like we should be having some alternative text and all these things. And similarly time based media, like if we having any time or dates what we are giving, and audios what we have pre-record things, then it should be enabled. Like an alternative for time-based media is provided that equivalent information for pre-record audio content will, all these things. Like I also mentioned that captions, everything like they will be following. And 1.2 this one, and then adaptable, like these all will fall under this time-based media. Adaptable, if like we are having a simpler layout, and that layout should be adaptable actually. So colors, css, all these things will be fall under this adaptable. Like we'll be having equal number of divisions and tables when compared to the website. So for example, let us open our page. So these all things were adaptable, right? They all are in the same font and all these things. And similarly, like distinguishable, like use of color, mostly like we'll be having a high contrast and low contrast colors while using the websites. That color contrast issues, resizing of texts, image text, all these will fall under this. Like if you are having a high dark background, and you are also having high font color, means that text is not visible. So that will fall under this high contrast issue, and it will be under level double A. Like even the large text, logo types, all these things. And this is for perceivable. And when coming to operable, for example, every website, like in the previous case what I said, for example, if I want to use the website from by using a single hand, for example, if you observe here, I'll be navigating through the tab. See for example, uh, yeah, here this URL is changing. I'm just moving this through the tab. So when I click on enter, I'll be moving to that page. I doesn't use mouse for that one. Even I'm just using the down arrow. So all these things like navigating through keyboard, all these things will fall under this operable thing. And for example, you will be opening some websites which will be having ads. So that ads, I mean, that pop-up should also contain like navigate to main window or navigate to main screen. All these things will be fall under this operable principles. And coming to understandable, like whatever text we are writing in this website means like that should be understandable and that should be visible to us basically, and language should be neat and clear. So most of these understandable things will fall under level double and triple A. So if you observe like these are the parts: language of the part, unusual words, abbreviations, reading level, pronunciation. So like all these things or success criterion or on input, like for example, I'll show Amazon. So for example, when I click on see here it is displaying, when I click on tab, it is displaying skip to main content. So when I click on tab again, like if you see the elements are focusing like on the refrigerators and then microwave, washing machines. So every website should be having these type of things actually. Even our website does not highlight, I mean, does not focus these type of things. So like keyboard navigation is one of the best example for that. Like, to go like this, it will be moving right. All these will fall under this understandable, like if you see on focus, input, consistent navigation, and robust means like these will be having a simpler types call. For example, if I need to enter some text and we'll be having some placeholders in the boxes, like right. For example, see this doesn't have any placeholders. See here, enter password we are having as a placeholder earlier. So keeping such type of things, it will be accessible. So like while entering dates also, like it should be in MMDDYY format. We can keep such type of things in the robustness. Like we'll be having exact level, like what we need to enter, we'll be having some knowledge. So like these are the major guidelines of what we need to follow. So basically, the next slide is about how to achieve these guidelines. So basically, like testing a web application to make sure that each user can easily access the website is known as web accessibility testing. Like this can be done in three ways actually: a complete manual, a semi-manual, and then automation. For example, a complete manual means the currently what I did, like this is one part, clicking on tabs, and the another part is keeping the settings in high contrast mode. For example, in the accessibility window, we will be having high contrast mode. So when I select this one, we will be getting like this. So for example, if you see the same Amazon website, it will be changed. See everything like the color and the website, everything is changed, right? To the blue thing. The font was on the blue and everything. Even like if you were using Windows 10, then in Windows 10 applications, it will be clearly saying over here. You are able to see my thing, right? I mean, setting screen, what I open.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So here we can check all these things. So this is one of the best example. Like we need to go everything like this, and when I click on none, it will be reflecting to the normal one. So yeah. So this is complete manual mode of testing WCAG. Like everything, like we will be having some methods to test them completely manual. So for example, I'll see this. I'll open this methods. These are some basic methods we will be checking before going to the semi-automatic, semi-manual one. So here we can use high contrast mode. This is the thing what I just explained. And by not accessing images. So for example, in any browser, you can navigate to settings tab. And when you search for images, site settings, and then click on images. Don't allow sites to show images. So when I move here, what will happen is I'll navigate to sales software thing. This is the previously loaded. When I reload this one, the images will not come. For example, here this is having some image text, and here we can know like what is logo. Similarly, like when we scroll down, here also some thumbs that image text is having. And we scroll down completely, like in our website, we'll be having some empty images which doesn't even show some what is that image text means. Like we cannot understand the text on that image. So this is one of the like WCAG issue. So when I turn on that images again and when I reload this one, we'll be getting image and on the text, right? So this is the best example for this images one. And checking for captions, like the best example is like when you open some YouTube video or Facebook video, like enabling CC, like closed captions and subtitles. Like if you are using, if you are, I mean, for example, if we are watching some other languages videos and we doesn't have that subtitles, means like we cannot understand that one. So that one also, like if we have any video based content on our website, it is good to have captions on our videos. And by turning off the CSS also, like for example, here in our website only, I'll give an example. We move to the inspect elements, search for what here I'm doing is I'm deleting the style sheets what we have. So for example, I deleted one style sheet. Like that style sheet, what it done was like it the text overlaps on one again another. Like if you see, like there are more issues on the bottom. The images size got increased. And even so when I scroll down, like this text is completely deleted actually. So this is one type of CSS testing what we are having. And also like what we can do is the another thing, increasing the font size in the text. Font size is what we are having. Like we'll be having font size here. So what I'm doing in this font classes. So this will change. So, yeah. Here we have. I increase this font size. Like if you observe, this size has been increased. So the font changing font size is one of the best example. Try to use keyboard. What I mentioned earlier, like for our website, like if we try to use the keyboard navigations were on, but we are not focusing the elements or links what we are having. Mm, this is one thing. Like if you see for Amazon, like I showed already earlier, the elements were focusing. Everything is going good. And also use field level. This is like what we discussed. Like for any passwords or things, like we need to keeping placeholders and all these things. And changing the font size to large and small. This is one type. And like zoom in and zoom out the website is one of the best examples. When I try to zoom in this chartboard is not minimizing. It should also be minimized to mobile view. So this is the one example what we are currently having. You see, this is good. I like we are getting this one. When we zoom out of the things, like this chartboard is not accessible at all. So like this is the issue like for the chartboard. Now it's working. So like these are the manual methods. What we need to check is like currently we have done only for the home page. For every page, we need to perform these type of testings to achieve all these guidelines what we have discussed here. So as this is getting a big I mean, a big time a time consuming and all these things, like we'll be opting for some Chrome extensions and some paid or pre-use tools so that all these guidelines can be tested by using those extensions as well. So for example, here we are having some extensions like Axe DevTools, Art Toolkit, Lighthouse, and Accessibility Insights for Web. Like all these tools will generate only two levels, like double N A level of results. Only the Axe DevTools will generate level triple A results, like which will throw like many issues what we are currently having. So like for example, I'll show our sales software website only in this one. So we need to install the Chrome extensions for all of them. And once we install them, for example, for Lighthouse, here we need to open that website and click on desktop site, accessibility, and then analyze page load. What it will do is it will refresh the page and it will scan for all the issues, WCAG issues, what that site is currently having as per the level W. So like we can perform this for each and every page. Like it will be giving all the things like some images does not have all tags like what we discussed earlier, and background and foreground colors is not clear, names and labels, contracts, and navigations also like H5, H4, and all these things. and it will also throw some additional items like some issues which need to be tested manually, like what is the logical tab order, like we only will know like what will come next and what will not come next, that we need to do manually. So the tab index part we need to test manually. For any tool we need to test that one manually. And interactive controls are keyboard focusable, like hyperlinks, buttons, and the text boxes what we are entering data, those should be keyboard focusable. And like interactive elements indicate the state or not, like it will give all the things data, like off screen content is hidden and assistive technology, like we need to use like windows, I mean Microsoft reader or some readers, whether this text is reading exactly or not. We'll be having that one, like pronounced text we'll be having in Chrome also. So like these are the results which we generated from the Lighthouse tool. So any doubts till now until Lighthouse tool?
Yeah, what is that 73 accessibility, Manoj?
Like it will calculate the percentage, like out of 100%, like our website secure only 73% for this homepage. It is 73% accessible, and the remaining 27% we need to fix that one. For each and every
Okay.
page, like this in a similar way, like we can navigate to each and every page, and then we can click here, and then we can analyze the page load. The new page will be reloading and the new result will be generated. This page is 92% accessible when compared to the home page.
Yeah, Esman is like, can you click on any one of the issue so that like it will give some suggestions to the
Yeah,
developer what
yeah, it
actually
will be.
needs to be fixed by the developers, Spandana.
Yeah, there are only this Lighthouse tool generates only issues. When coming to the other tools like Arc tool and Axe Dev tools, like they'll be giving suggestions to developers what to fix. Like it will generate only issues, this Lighthouse tool, nothing more than that actually. It will be navigating us through that section, like what is the at which section we'll be having it. So that is about the Lighthouse tool. And when coming to the Arc toolkit, when we click on
So we should have all the extensions, Manoj, not just one tool for
better
testing.
to like as we are depending on the third party tools, my suggestion is to maintain a couple of tools actually to execute all these things. So for example, when I click run test on Arc toolkits, like it throws like 7 plus 3, like 10 errors it throws. Like here it will be showing like how it can be fixed and what is the like level of issue, WCAG issue, and all these things in the Arc toolkit. Like this is the area. Like if we check this one, it will be navigating here like our story means. So what its suggestion is to make is like H2 and make like this, like foreground contract a contract ratio. This can be applicable and foreground colors. All these things like it is showing, and it will also show some additional results like text without background image. These are like in on a clear, like we can say these are must high priority issues and these are low priority issues. And it will also show us the best practices, like any additional things can concentrate on this page means it will also show that one. So these are the this is about the Arc toolkit. Like here if you observe like contrast, regarding contrast we are having three critical issues and two minor issues. And interactive controls, like we are having seven and then five. It will be, I mean all the issues it identified, it will be grouped here actually in our toolkit and in the tools what we are using. So like Any questions in this tool?
Yeah, Manoj, actually, these tools are mainly used by developers, or we use these tools. Like QA will use these tools, or the developers will use these tools.
Like both QA and developers can use. For example, like in our earlier projects, what we had done was like the developers will be fixing the issues by using the Arc toolkit. Then we'll be writing some. I mean, we'll be testing by using the Ash Dev tools and Lighthouse toolkits. So like vice versa. Like if you fix on one toolkit, then we'll be following others.
If a user will found some issues while using this Arc toolkit, and
Yeah,
whatever the issues they found, the developers fix these issues. And if
yeah.
the developer will use again some other tool, uh, is there any possibility to find some more issues?
Yes, exactly. We can find some more issues. Like each toolkit will be working upon these levels actually. Like WCAG, like this 2.0 and 2.1 is basically the levels and versions. Some toolkits will follow 2.0 AA standards and some toolkits will follow 2.1 standards. And like we are having similar levels like 8, AA and AAA. So from there, the issue varies from toolkit to toolkit. Similarly, when I run this one for Axe Toolkit, uh, the best example, it will throw many errors, the Axe Toolkit, because the Axe Toolkit by default, it will follow only WCAG 2.1 AAA standards. If you observe here, like what is the issue and to resolve this issue, fix the following. It will be clearly mentioning like where the issue is, and if we click on highlight this issue, that section will be highlighted over here and issue tags, it will fall under WCAG 2 a level 2.0 AA. And to solve these issues, element has insufficient color contrast of 2.0. Like this 2.0 foreground color means like it will follow here. Not this message. Yeah, it will be following color contrast of 2.0 means like it is having some guidelines over there in 2.0 actually. It is asking to look directly through. Okay. Like I think so it is following level 2's one. We are checking on level 2.1 we are checking. So this is about the Axe Dev tools. Any queries here in these three tools? We need to like follow this like these three like these three are the majorly used among the web to get this accessibility thing. Because this lighthouse will also generate the performance results. If you click see here, like it can be checked through mobile and also to desktop, whereas these two will be checking only for desktop sites. This lighthouse can also generate the same report to mobile pages as well. Any questions?
So, Manoj, if we want to have a test case or test scenario, how it could work? Like we should test as a perceivable, operable in that way, or double A, triple A in that concept
uh,
we have to test
we
that.
need to check in the concept of double A and triple A. Like here I stated like WCAG 2.0 or 2.1 means like we'll be following only these levels like AA, and triple A, and double A is most acceptable among the web. Like even these two compilances, like most of these 508 compilants, they officially declared that WCAG AA level compilances will justify 508 compilances. So we need to write test case in such a way that like this website, for example, when we come to here, like about us page should be WCAG 2.0 or 2.1, uh, 2.1 level AA compatible. Like we can run these tests, I mean, we can run these tests if we find any issues. That's good. And apart from these tests, it is also showing, it will also show some other tests. For example, when I click a new scan, like we can have also some keyboard tests. Like if I click on keyboard text, it will be asking for the pro version. So the free version doesn't support this one actually. So we can check each and everything with the help of this actual tools. Like it will be helping us to through the guided test, like what it will be happening in this case, and images. Each and every part can be scanned over. And even
So
if you want,
developers
yeah,
needs to implement the AA or AAA.
double A, double A, like
Okay.
mostly like triple A compliance is high to achieve. Even like all the toolkits what we are having will mostly follow double A compliances only. Like
Okay.
Is,
if you see here,
um,
uh,
is there any specific order to follow? Like what needs to be test first and what is there any specific order to follow? Which needs to be test first and which needs to be test later onwards?
yeah, like the best thing to follow such type of things is like first we need to concentrate on the visual things, like what is visible to us. First we can concentrate on the visual things, and then we can concentrate on the audio related things like videos and then captions, and similarly like speech text and all these things. So like mostly these two following these two level, I mean uh, visual abilities will satisfy most. Like in, for example, in visual we'll be having all text headings and all these things. And coming to the audio enhancements, like we'll be having multiple things like closed captions, and the audio what we get, it should be clear. All these things like we'll be having.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you need to follow like use specific browser? How it should, how we can test with respect to browsers perspective?
We can test in any browser, like if any browser, the issues will be remain constant. Like the issues won't change from browser to browser as we are testing this accessibility, not this compatibility.
Okay.
Uh,
Even yeah.
Actually, in while we are testing our application in Google Chrome, we are seeing checkboxes in one way, and when it comes to the Edge, we are able to see checkboxes in different color and in a different format. So, if I run that the tool in Google Chrome, I may not find these issues, and if I run this tool in uh, Edge, I may found some other issues, right? So browser to browser, are they vary? The issues
No,
may
like
vary.
the issues not vary from browser to browser. Like they will be unique because here, for example, if we are, this will check the code level testing. Like for example, if you see here, like no link text, what it is checking is like here in this facebook.com sales solutions, I mean in this page, for this button or for this hyperlink, it does not have any link text which should be present over here. So the same will be there in the I mean in the Edge or else in the Firefox also the same thing will be there. Similarly, for the contrast also, it will be checking this type of things, but not like even if you check like in this scenario, like what you check, the appearance changed, but the accessibility will be remaining same. When you try to navigate from Chrome, like for example, do some tab index thing, the same will be happen in Chrome, and the same thing will be happen in Firefox and Edge as well.
Okay, mostly we are going to test this for the functionality wise. not for the appearance, not in detail. Like the display of checkbox may differ from one browser to other browser, but the functionality remains the same. We need to check for
Yeah,
those things.
yeah. Accessible functionalities we need to check, not like the appearance. That will fall under the UI testing completely.
Um, Manoj, as you mentioned, are these all tools particular for Chrome, or we
No,
can use it
we
for
can
all
use
other
it for
browsers?
Firefox and Edge as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to show one more tool, that is accessibility insights for web. So like this tool will also having these tools like fast pass means like it will be checking the color font simple I mean the simple text it will be checking, and it will also check the tab stops, like everything we keyboard navigation, all interactive elements can be reached using the tab and arrow keys, partially automated. And then we need to enter this result. So once we enter all these results, it will become in the fast pass. And when we come to assessment, we need to check everything manually here. Like automated checks, it will do some automated checks like getting started, alt area. If you see here, everything it will be checking. Timed events, keyboard events, focus, headings, links, everything. Page navigation, parsing. I'll suggest accessibility insights for web and this Axe dev tools for web to test most of the WCAG issues. Like what we achieve is like for this WCAG thing in our project, we achieve almost like 99% by using these two tools. And some automation scripts also, like we can do also some automation for these things. We are having some open source and paid tools as well. I prefer to go with open source instead of the paid tools. Any questions?
Manoj, here automated checks means in case of tab index, does it
No, it will not check. The tab index won't check actually here. We need to do that one manually. It will be
manual?
checking, yeah, it will be checking at the entire code for like the major, I mean, the HTML related tags will be there, right? Like area, some CSS classes, roles, attributes, divisions, and all these things. It will check whether they were as per these WCAG guidelines or not.
Okay.
So you see each and everything, like they describe what are the expected captions, images, like understanding the real size text, how to meet resize testing. Everything they'll be doing. Those tools will be following these guidelines. Whenever new guidelines were received, they will be updating their APIs as well.
Okay.
So coming to the automation part, what I suggest is like to go with Axe Core Maven HTML. This is their official repository. What they'll do is like, so we'll be writing our Selenium scripts, right? So like once we written our Selenium scripts, then we can integrate this jar file, I mean this dependency in our POM, and then we can call these methods, like we'll be having include only with rules and tags, analyze page, it will be giving some results. So integrating this in our project, it will be useful for us actually. Like each and every page will be automating, right, by using Selenium. So after the page execution is completed, we can call this method so that the results will be generated and it will be posted to JSON. Instead, we can change that JSON to text and we can log the issues as well. Any questions in this automation part or the manual tools part?
So Manoj, it will not vary in case of mobile devices as well, right? So the same issues will be in also in mobile devices like mobile browsers as well,
No,
right?
like in mobile browsers, we may vary with differences. So that's the reason, like I also included this lighthouse also. Like, for example, this lighthouse, when we click on mobile and accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
and when I click on page load, it will be changing the device to mobile as it is developed by Google Chrome actually. I mean, this lighthouse application is of Google's actually. So, for example, for this About Us page in the web, I mean, for the desktop website, we got 92% accessibility, but for the mobile website, we got 83% accessibility.
Okay, okay.
So that is the reason, like why I also suggested this Lighthouse app instead of these two.
Here, a mobile means in the that means a basic mobile, or we can. Is there any option to change the models like it's a Mac, tab?
No, I think so. We can check only with the basic version of the mobile. What they'll be doing is like they'll be taking 6-inch mobile. I hope so. Like this is of Google's.
Only for the 6-inch mobile only we can be able to see it. So for the
Mm, I hope so.
responsive test, it's not very much accurate, I think.
Mostly like I am not sure like which type of mobile it is taking because like I perform most tests on the desktop applications. So if you see here, this is the thing what they done. I think so. We can check here. Uh, Even yeah, they also have some this APIs. I think so. These can also be integrated. Google Chrome Lighthouse. I think so. Yes, we can use this API and we can configure our own device actually. This will also help. Like I think so. It is written in JavaScript. Yeah. So like if we are hands-on on JS JavaScript, like we can change this one and we can do this testing as well. And this is the thing what I have installed on my system, Lighthouse. Yeah. They showed also like how to do it for manual things. I'll share this URL as well in that Teams. Like you can go and check this one. Any questions? Then I'll be stopping this recording.
Manoj, one thing.
Yeah,
Can you share, because I'm new to this, can you share the format of how you log issues in these WCAG issues in the Jira tool?
yeah, sure, sure. I'll share that one to me.